All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about a bit of controversy, a bit of drama, and this is all in regards to the recent raid date announcement that Bungie gave. They said that the reprised raid, we still don't know what it is, but they said that the reprised raid is going to be released on a Friday, and a lot of people in the community are upset about this because a lot of us, we work Monday through Friday, and so we're not going to be able to do the raid on launch, and we're going to be, basically barred off from getting the 24-hour emblem, or not be given as much time as we would like. As a community, a lot of people have said that a Friday launch date isn't really fair. Bungie specifically chose it to be a Saturday a while ago, and a lot of people really, really love this because the raid launching on a Saturday means that pretty much everyone can play it. I mean, not everyone, but the majority of people can play it, and it makes the majority of people happy. So the recent change to make it now on a Friday has been met with a lot of frustrations and confusion, and Bungie has recently responded to this, and they said that basically they don't want their employees to have to work on weekends when it's possible for them to schedule things so that they don't have to work on weekends. So for example, because they can choose the raid date to come on Friday, they choose to do that because if there's a big disaster like there was with Valve the Disciple, the last raid that came out, then they can work through Friday to fix this issue rather than having to work through Saturday and work through Sunday. And so that's Bungie's decision. And obviously, this puts Bungie in a very compromised position because they have to kind of choose between their community, the players who want to play this raid, and the raids are quite literally the cornerstone of Destiny 2 content, and the ability to get the 24-hour emblem. Last time it was turned into the 48-hour emblem because of all of the errors. We'll see if they do that again. But the ability to get the 24-hour emblem is something that a lot of people desire, and it's a big accomplishment in Destiny 2. A lot of people want that. And then not overworking their employees, and so this has become quite a hot topic, and a lot of people have expressed their frustrations on Twitter. And if you have been living under a rock and haven't seen any of this, I'm going to go over all of it. And kudos to you for not going on Twitter, because it's definitely a desolate wasteland there of nothing but craziness and insanity. But let's go ahead and start here. We've got the community manager for Bungie, one of the three, tweeting out saying, part of the challenge of a game like Destiny 2 is that we have two very different communities. There are, and will be again, challenges where our job as a studio is to find the middle ground from a big part of the community wanting one thing and an equally different. And then it continues on as a thread, and we get a response from someone right here where they say, what is the middle ground on making the raid a weekday when the vast majority of people work Monday through Friday? And this was met with 112 likes from this person, so clearly a lot of people agreed with this, like, hey, the raid being on a weekday is not very helpful to us as the community. We get a response from the community manager here. It says, because we also work Monday through Friday, and remember how broken the vow was when it dropped? This way, if something like that happens, we can have all hands on deck without burning out our teams. And so that's the reason why it's happening, so that they can not burn out their teams, like I mentioned before. And obviously, this is met with a lot of love. I got 1,800 likes. Clearly, not overworking their employees is a good thing. A 7-day work week is not necessarily healthy. It's not a good thing. Some people do work like that, obviously, but it's not good for the studio. People need some work-life balance, right? And crunch is also another big issue when there's deadlines. And Bungie has a good reputation with this stuff, with giving their employees healthy work-life balance and crunch and stuff like that. Other studios have had, big controversies with this, but Bungie has steered clear of that. So Bungie, choosing to treat their employees well in this regard. But of course, there's met with quite a bit of criticism. And so we get a response from someone saying, but when the game starts getting all glitchy and shit the bed at 1 a.m., you're already dipping into the weekend. Asking employees to work overtime once every raid drop isn't going to hurt them. And they do make something of a valid point, which would be that, asking your employees to work on weekends when the raids drop is pretty much just a twice annual thing. Like, that's just 2 weekends out of the year. And so I don't really think it's necessarily asking that much. And obviously the raids are quite literally the cornerstone of Destiny 2. So it would probably be in Bungie's favor to maybe, cater to the community in this regard and allow the raid to be on Saturday. I don't know. Let me know your opinions if you agree or disagree. I think it's a pretty valid point, but we get a response here. And then they say right here, the community manager says, we have hundreds of devs saying, yes, it does hurt them. Live service games are hard for a reason. It's also why a lot of them don't last long. Overtime is every day. I feel like you might benefit from looking into reports of studios that have struggled with crunch. It's industry wide. And she brings up a very valid point. Crunch has been a really big issue. And this is another larger issue, which is that Destiny 2 is a live service game. And that means that it doesn't stop on the weekends. It doesn't just shut down Friday at 5 p.m. or whatever, and then come back online on Monday at 8 at 9 or whatever. Um, and so, because it's a live service game, there's always going to be stuff they're going to be doing during the weekends. And so, if they can decide to not have to work on the weekends, they're going to choose to do so. And unfortunately, uh, albeit this was maybe divine intervention right here, we had a tweet coming out, which was this Saturday. We had a huge bug where there was the big text chat bug, and we get a tweet from the community manager saying the team is aware of an exploit right now that is causing some players to be kicked and are actively working on identifying what's causing the issue and addressing it. Please follow Bungie Help for when we have official update on this. Someone retweeted this and they said, but Bungie doesn't work on the weekends, right? And you can see, of course, the shitstorm that followed along with that. Um, Bungie does have to work on the weekends. It's a live service game. If there's a huge bug, they're going to have to work. Whether it's Saturday, whether it's Sunday, it doesn't matter. If it's an absolutely big game-breaking bug, they're going to have to work. That's just the way it is with the live service game. They're trying their best to not push their employees too hard. This is obviously a really tough predicament. I mean, myself personally, of course, I can play on Friday, so I'm making this video for you, the community, letting you know the big issue of why this is happening, and reading your comments, reading your thoughts. Maybe Bungie will change this. Maybe they will revert this back. I doubt it, though. They're doing this for their employees. I don't know what's the right decision here. I think it's good that they don't want to overwork their employees, but I definitely understand the frustrations of the community and people who invest so much time and so much money into this game, and then basically not being able to do the raid or maybe complete the raid as they were expecting to on a weekend day like they were with Saturday and how all the previous raids have been. So that's the big hot topic. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think that the raid should be on Saturdays as it has been? Or do you think that Bungie is doing the right thing by not overworking their employees and by choosing it to be on a Friday? Weigh in the comments below. I've seen very good arguments on both sides of the fence. I'm not going to make my opinion known right here on all of this. I think that there's valid points to be made both ways, but at the end of the day, this is what Bungie is choosing at this point in time, unless the community gives them, enough backlash or feedback or whatever it may be, criticism, and maybe they will change it. Who knows? But that's a wrap on this news story. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.